Long, long ago, in a small village by the sea, a place where mornings began with the sound of waves and nights fell with the scent of salty air, there lived a poor fisherman. People called him simply Father. He had spent his whole life battling the sea, wrestling with waves to bring home a meager catch. All he owned was an old boat, a torn net, and the greatest treasure of his life, his 4 sons, Rob, Cole, Alex, and Harry. They were his world. Even in hardship, the little hut was full of laughter, stories, and songs. But though love never left their home, poverty never did either. One quiet evening, as the waves calmed down, Father called his 4 sons to him. There was affection in his eyes, but his face carried the weight of something deep and unspoken. Slowly, he said, "My sons, my heart feels as heavy as a stone. I've spent my whole life fishing, enough to feed you, but never enough to free you. You've grown up now. It's time for you to spread your wings. I don't want you to live your lives fighting the same hunger I did." The 4 brothers sat silently. The youngest, Harry, spoke with tears in his eyes. "Father, how can we leave you?" Father smiled softly. "Go, my sons, see the world. Every man has a hidden gift inside him. Find yours. And when you return, I want you to make me proud." Tears glistened in his eyes. The eldest, Rob, took his hand and said, "We'll go, Father, and one day you'll hold your head high because of us." That night, no one slept. They cried, laughed, and held one another close. A night of love and farewell that none of them would ever forget. At dawn, the 4 brothers began their journey. After a long walk, they reached a crossroads, 4 paths stretching out in 4 different directions. Rob said, "These must be the roads of our destinies. Let's each take one, and 4 years from today, we'll meet here again to see what we've learned." They hugged, eyes wet but hearts burning with hope, and went their separate ways. Rob's road led him deep into a dense forest. There he met a strange old man dressed in black, with eyes that gleamed with mystery. "Where are you going, boy?" the old man asked. "I want to learn a trade, something honest." The old man smiled. "Then stay with me. I'll teach you to move like a shadow, to do your work so silently that no one will ever notice." At first, Rob was afraid, but he thought, a skill is a skill. No learning is wasted. He stayed and trained for months. In time, he became so swift and silent that he could vanish in the blink of an eye. Cole's road led him to a riverbank, where he saw an old man gazing at the sky through a glass instrument. Curious, Cole asked him, "Sir, what are you looking at?" The old man smiled. "This is a telescope. Through it you can see what's far away, as if it were right before your eyes." Cole was fascinated. He stayed and learned day and night. In time, he discovered that distance is not just space, it's perception. When he finally left, the man handed him the telescope and said, "With this, you'll see not only things, but also people's hearts." Alex met a seasoned hunter on his journey. The hunter said, If you have patience, I'll teach you how to strike true." Alex practiced from dawn to dusk. At first, his arrows missed, his hands trembled, but he never gave up. Months passed. Finally, one day the hunter smiled and said, "Your eyes are steady now. Even the wind will bow to your aim." Before parting, the hunter gave him his own bow. He said, "This isn't just a weapon, it's your courage." The youngest, Harry, reached a small village where he found an old tailor sewing quietly. "I want to learn," Harry said. The tailor chuckled. "Then I'll teach you how to stitch cloth and maybe how to stitch people together too." Harry practiced diligently, learning how to guide the needle, how to join torn fabric with care. When the time came to leave, the tailor gave him a golden needle. "This needle is enchanted," he said. "Anything you sew with it will never come apart again." 4 years later, on the very same morning, the four brothers met again at the crossroads. They embraced with joy, pride, and peace. When they returned home, their father listened to their stories with tears of joy. "Let's see," he said, "if your lessons truly worked." He led them beneath the big tree near their house. "Cole," he said, "use your telescope. Tell me how many eggs are in that bird's nest at the top." Cole looked. "5, father." Then Rob silently climbed the tree and brought down the eggs without the bird noticing. Alex shot an arrow, splitting each egg perfectly in half without harming the chicks inside. Finally, Harry used his golden needle to sew the shells back together, flawless, whole again. The father stared in wonder. Tears welled up once more. "You've done it, my sons. You are no longer just my children. You are the fulfillment of my dream." Sometime later, terrible news spread across the kingdom. A dragon had kidnapped the princess. The king announced, "Whoever rescues the princess shall marry her." The four brothers set out together, blessed by their father. With his telescope, Cole spotted the princess on an island in the middle of the sea, the dragon asleep beside her. They sailed there at once. Rob slipped ashore like a shadow and brought the princess away unseen. But the dragon woke up. Alex drew his bow and struck a single perfect arrow. The beast fell dead into the sea. Yet the dragon's fall shattered their ship. As the waves rose, Harry took out his golden needle and began sewing the broken planks together. In no time, he turned the wreck into a sturdy raft. They sailed safely home with the rescued princess. The king rewarded them with gold and honor. But when he asked, "Which of you shall marry the princess?" an argument began. Cole said, "Without me, you'd never have found her." Rob said, "Without me, she'd still be the dragon's captive." Alex said, "Without me, you'd all be dead." Harry said, "And without me, you'd have drowned." The king listened quietly, then smiled. "None of you did it alone. Your victory is not of one man, but of unity and trust." He turned to the princess. "Whom will you choose?" The princess smiled gently. "I owe my life to all of them, but my heart belongs to no one but honor itself." The king nodded. "Then my kingdom shall be divided into 4 parts. You shall each guard one direction, north, east, west, and south." The brothers brought their father to the royal palace. The poor fisherman's home was now filled with joy, respect, and love. One quiet evening, the father said, "My sons, you've changed your fates. and mine. But do you know the greatest lesson of all? They asked, "What, Father?" He smiled. No matter how high a man rises, his true greatness lies in never forgetting his roots. The sea breeze blew softly again, and the story of the fisherman and his 4 sons lived on, ever carried in the song of the waves.